If you think your toughest fight is against some thug in the street, it's not. That's the easy fight. The toughest fight, the one you can't avoid, can't outrun, and can't reason with, is time. And if you don't start fighting back now, it will strip you of everything that makes you dangerous. But here's the good news. You can still fight back and win. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's check it out. You know, the longer you live, the more you lose. I've experienced it firsthand. I've buried my parents. I've lost friends, acquaintances, some of them gone way too soon. I've had to say goodbye to my dogs that I love like my own children. And every year that passes, I feel time creeping in, taking what it wants from me. And if you're lucky, if you live long enough, time doesn't just take people. It takes pieces of you. It slowly steals your strength, your speed, your endurance, and worst of all, it changes the way the world looks at you. You know, it reminds me of a line from the movie Act of Valor, and it hits like a punch to the gut. It goes like, "Before my father died, he said the worst thing about growing old was that other men stopped seeing you as dangerous." And that's the truth, isn't it? A younger man walks into a room and there's a certain presence, an energy. People recognize him as capable, strong, and a potential threat. But an older man, he's invisible. Nobody fears him. He's dismissed, ignored, seen as weak and incapable. And in the real world, that puts a bullseye on your back. So what do? Just sit back and let the laws of nature take its course? Let time take everything away from you? Or do you fight back? Because if you think, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for time to beat me into submission, you're out of your mind. And that's what I'm talking about today. How time is your true adversary and how you can fight back against the inevitable. You know, you don't notice it at first, then one day you look in the mirror and you realize you look different, or you just feel slower. Your endurance isn't quite what it used to be. The weights that you used to throw around in the gym, that you used to throw around with ease, feel a hell of a lot heavier. You shake it off and you tell yourself it's nothing. And then it happens again and again and again, and before you realize it, time has taken something from you. This isn't just about losing muscle or getting tired faster. Your entire body is changing on a biological level. Your blood chemistry shifts. The hormones that made you powerful in your youth, testosterone, growth hormone, and adrenaline, they all start to decline. Your training recovery slows, your energy dips, and your body starts storing fat more easily. Unfortunately, there's more. Your joints and bones also take the hit. Years of wear and tear starts to show. Aches, stiffness, injuries that just don't fully heal. Orthopedic problems creep in. The knees that once powered explosive movement, they ache. And the shoulders that once delivered punishing blows are stiff and they grind. And it's not just the body. Your mind takes a hit too. Mental acuity can dull, reflexes slow, memory fades. The ability to react instantly, something that can mean the difference between life and death, isn't as sharp as it once was. And the worst part, it's not a sudden event. It's gradual and insidious. It sneaks up on you. You can pretend it's not happening, make excuses, or tell yourself you're the same as you always were. But time doesn't care. It's still taking from you if you like it or not. And when the moment of truth comes, no one cares what you could do 20 years ago. They only care what you can do right now. So if time is always taking from you, what's your strategy? Every person chooses a vehicle to get through life. Some choose faith, others choose sedation. Some fight back, others pretend they don't see the clock running down. But the truth is, no matter what vehicle you choose, time is still moving on. Some people take the path of denial and avoidance. They refuse to acknowledge what's actually happening. They laugh it off about the weight gain, or they joke about the aches and pains and tell themselves they're going to get back into shape one day, but they never do it. They let time take from them without ever putting up a fight. Others choose to escape. They drown the reality in alcohol, drugs, or mindless distractions. Have you ever heard the term midlife crisis? They don't want to face the fact that their body is slowing down, so they numb themselves instead. They think they're avoiding the pain of aging, but really, in actuality, they're just accelerating the process. And then there are people who put their faith in others to save them. They assume that when the moment comes, someone will step in and help them, like the police or the government or a good citizen. They believe help will arrive just in time, but it seldom does. And then there are people who think their gun will save them. I see it all the time in the comments section of my videos. Men and women who have convinced themselves that a firearm is the answer to all of their problems, as if a weapon is some magical shield against time, weakness, and violence. They don't train their body, they don't sharpen their reflexes, they don't develop the ability to act under real-world pressure. But they think their gun will make up for all of that. And what about the self-defense situations that don't justify the use of deadly force? What will you do then? I've seen it over and over again. People who think someone else will be there to protect them, or that their weapon would do the work for them, only to find out they're completely alone when it matters most. And if you're waiting for someone or something to fight your battles for you, you've already lost. Time doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your distractions. It doesn't care about your false sense of security. Time is taking from you whether you like it or not. So the real question is, what are you going to do about it? That's why I chose to fight back. That's why I chose the War Machine lifestyle that strengthens your mind, your body, and your spirit. Because if time is coming for me, I'll make damn sure I don't go down easily. I'm going to fight it tooth and nail. Let me give you a little background about me. As a young man, I knew that one day I'd have to contend with aging. It wasn't some distant concept. It was a fact that was always in the back of my mind. And I wasn't about to wait until I was old to start preparing for it. That's why I built my entire contemporary fighting art system around longevity, resilience, and adaptability. I knew that if I started early, trained with purpose, and built the right foundation, I'd have the best chance of being dangerous and capable as I aged. You know, it's funny, my doctor is always astonished by my health and conditioning at my age. He often tells me that I'm very lucky, and I always correct him and tell him that it wasn't luck. It was deliberate planning and a lifestyle choice. See, way back when, I wasn't thinking about being the toughest guy in the room at 20. I was thinking about what I'd be capable at 50, 60, and beyond. For me, it was always about training smart and consistently throughout my life and not buying into the latest hype and gimmicks that seep into the fitness and self-defense industry. I always stayed the course, month after month, year after year, decade after decade, and it really served me well. Now, I know a lot of you watching didn't start training in your early years. Maybe you're realizing time has already started taking from you. Maybe you're wondering if it's too late to start now. The truth is, it's not. Again, it's not. It's never late to start and fight back against time. That's exactly what my channel, my books, and my War Machine memberships are for. Everything I teach is designed to help you fight back against time and accelerate the process of learning and improving so you don't have to waste years trying to figure it out on your own. And if you're a younger man or woman, you're in a great place. You have the luxury of time, something many don't. And I've already done the work for you, the hard work, the knowledge, the training, the principles of my contemporary fighting arts system. It's all here. It's up to you to absorb it, train with it, and integrate it into your life. And if you're older, you don't have time to waste. You can't afford trial and error. You need to train smarter, not harder. You need to focus on what works, what has been tested in real-world conditions, and what will actually still keep you dangerous as you age. That's why I wrote my War Machine book, to give you an actual blueprint for building strength, power, and resilience for life. But physical strength alone isn't enough. Time is going to test you in ways that go beyond the body. It will take from you. It will break you down. It will force you to deal with personal loss, pain, and setbacks. If you don't have the mental toughness to keep going, to push back against time, to endure what life throws at you, then you've already lost. That's why I wrote my book Invincible, because fighting time isn't just about the physical plane. It's about having the will to keep going when things are taken away from you and life seems to be trying to slow you down. Listen guys, time is already running down, and if you're wasting it watching TikTok videos or flashy choreographed self-defense moves that will never work in a real fight, you're not just getting older, you're getting weaker and dumber. You're letting these charlatans rob you of time you're never going to get back. Time you should be using to get stronger, to get smarter, to stay dangerous. Think of it this way. Every minute you spend consuming garbage from unqualified influencers is another minute you could have spent building real, battle-tested skills that will keep you alive when it matters most. Time is your enemy. Don't make it even worse by handing it over to frauds. This video isn't about trying to relive your glory days. It's about making sure you don't become a liability to yourself and to the people you love. At the end of the day, it comes down to one simple choice. Are you going to let time take from you without a fight, or are you going to take control? For those of you who are still in the fight, welcome to my channel and the War Machine lifestyle. And as for the rest of you, I can only wish you good luck.